The winner still unclear. A Colossus getting sniped out by Marauders, a sight that we've been seeing all day long. He still has not been making Immortals, and another drop force being dropped up here at the top. More Marauders landing down. It looks like the Zealots are going to try to defend this Nexus futilely, but they are going to get taken out, and this could be the end of this Nexus. Looks like is running all of his Stalkers and Templars, even warping in some Templars to deal with this. I think he will be able to hold this off, and even feedbacking the dropships. So nice hold, nice save from MioWeRRa. Currently, currently MioWeRRa at 189 supply. Is at 137, so he's been behind in food count all day long. He's just not getting Immortals to deal with the Marauders. Looks like another massive battle here, landing a great EMP once again, but a great Side Storm coming out from the Templar in the front to weaken and soften up those Marauders and Marines. The Vikings just sniping Colossus, finally getting focused by the Stalkers. Let's take a look at these guys' macro. Tons of barracks from MioWeRRa, pumping out units like no other. He's got this expansion. He's mined out of the 3rd. He's effectively only on the 4th, the 5th base as well, getting armories. He's transitioning into mech right now. I love this play. Get siege tanks out to really secure the win, possibly even go battle cruisers. He's got the gold, so he's effectively at 3 bases. The Protoss is at 1, 2, 3 bases right now. His natural is mined out, so right now income really pretty much even. The Terran just slightly ahead because he's been mining the gold for so much longer. But here we go. Looks like MioWeRRa gonna try to kill off the gold expansion of the Protoss, and with a quick stim, this should be easy to do. It's gonna be close. Looks like MioWeRRa gonna get that one last volley off against the Nexus to take it down. Great from MioWeRRa, running in there and sniping off that Nexus, keeping the Protoss income lower than his own. Is going to fall back, and he might lose this entire army, but I think that was well worth it. Wow, MioWeRRa at 8,000 minerals, ladies and gentlemen. He has just got so many bases. He's dropping more forces up here to the north. He's just got so much money, but he just can't produce because he's been trying to just control different fronts all day long. He's actually really running low on gas, so all he can produce at this point are mass Marines, and the Protoss player likewise has been spending all of his income, so his macro is actually a lot better than MioWeRRa's is, but the micro from MioWeRRa, I gotta argue, is a lot better than is. So micro versus macro, who's gonna come out on top? Another Side Storm to finish off those Marauders. Meanwhile, it looks like the Zealots have finally held off this drop force. But, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of macro, MioWeRRa is really kind of slipping a little bit. He's got more bases, but he just doesn't have enough gas because he doesn't have this thing fully mining gas, this refinery right here. He doesn't have this second Vespene gas either, so he's really slipping. He should be building refineries here. He should have 3 SCVs on this refinery here, and that's going to hurt him really badly. Meanwhile, though, is making great use of all of his resources possible, just desperately trying to grab onto whatever minerals or Vespene gas is left on this barren skyscraper, and at the same time trying to hold off against the constant human Terran harass from MioWeRRa. So my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, 32 minutes in the game, the winner has still not decided. I would say the advantage is slightly towards MioWeRRa because he's got so much minerals and he's near max, whereas is not quite. Looks like the action has finally slowed down, so we can look at the upgrades. 1 weapons, no armor or shields, 0 for mech, and it looks like Banshee coming out, the Marauders and Marines at 1-1, and it is going to be another attack from MioWeRRa for and can MioWeRRa hold this off? He's got some Marauders on the ground below. Nice Side Storm to push back the Bio Infantry. Are these tanks going to siege up? There we go. MioWeRRa with that siege tank should be able to hold off this Terran or this Protoss attack. Some Archons getting caught out of position. It's unfortunate that Archons do get slowed by the concussive shells. It looks like is going to run forward. Nice feedback on the dropships to really drain their energy, and then following up with some great Side Storms to push the Terran army back. MioWeRRa needs to desperately siege up, and this refinery could go down as well. That would be absolutely huge if he loses another refinery. He's at 10,000 minerals, 700 gas, so really large discrepancy, but he is going to heal that refinery and repair it back up. Just looking all over the map, ladies and gentlemen, just ragtag forces everywhere. Nobody has full HP except the new reinforcements. Even a Banshee just coming out of nowhere to harass this expansion, so I really like the micro from both these players. But the question is, who's going to win this game? Is at 178 supply. MioWeRRa is at 198, so he has food advantage, he has terrain advantage with these 2 tanks, and it's really become a no man's land right here. No one wants to push too deeply in because of these 2 tanks sitting right here, and of course if the Terran player overextends, he could get in a lot of trouble as well. So it looks like he's going to mobilize into the dropships. and try to do some kind of air harass. If he can drop right here into this base, that could be really deadly for the Protoss. Protoss right now has more income than the Terran. I think that's just because he's got more mining bases at this point, whereas the Terran is running dry. He's only got one last mining base, and the gold is nearly out as well. Looks like the Protoss is going to push forward while the Terran army was dropping into the main, or into the top base right here. So both players could be going for some kind of a base race here. The command center has finally fallen. The planetary fortress has fallen. The mass war of the worlds from the Colossus. The Colossus have landed on the Earth, and they are just doing so much damage on this Terran wasteland. It looks like MioWeRRa 2 is going to take out an expansion, and the tank's getting caught out of position. Still unclear who's going to come out on top. Two more tanks up here, but Blink going to take out those tanks as well. 186 supply for Iz. MioWeRRa at 153 is trying to desperately re-macro up, but I think that drop when he left his gold expansion undefended, that might have been the nail in the coffin, might have been a costly mistake. He could lose these dropships as well. That would be so huge. And this is the last mining base for MioWeRRa. He cannot afford to lose this base. Looks like he's going to drop up here to the gold of the Protoss player. He could possibly take out this gold, which would be huge, but Iz is just warping in more reinforcements to deal with this Terran drop attack, and the Colossus and Stalkers continuing to push forward to end this game. They're killing all the factory and all the mech of the Terran player. The command center, the last mining expansion, is burning. Meanwhile, the dropships have been taken out. So Iz is going to defend the gold, and I gotta say, Iz now looking really strong. It's gonna take a miracle for MioWeRRa, I think, to get back in this game. His SCV count now 32 under 79. His income way lower, ladies and gentlemen, and he's still got 9,000 minerals, 1,300 gas, but somehow, some way, is pulling through with his great ability to just eke out every possible unit from all of his resources, never allowing himself to fall behind. He had the lower food count almost the entire game, but he has been able to stay toe-to-toe with the Terran army, and he has now eliminated all these two bases as well as the gold. MioWeRRa has absolutely no more mining bases. He's using everything he has left in the bank. All he can produce is just mass Marines, and the rest of this gas is going to be used for the most Marauders he can possibly get, but that's only about 4 or 5, and so he does have one last refinery right here with 649 gas remaining. I'm not sure who's going to come out on top, but I think Iz now has just swung the tables in his favor. He has rewarped in this Nexus at the 12 o'clock location, so he's going to resaturate that, get that up and running, and he's soon going to be at 200 once again, whereas Iz is at 108. Ooh, that is not good for the Terran player. We might see the alien invasion win after all. Here comes the Colossus, the Stalkers, the Zealots, the Archons, and the Templars, and it looks like MioWeRRa is going to try to get this expansion up just for the Vespene gas, but that command center going to get denied. And I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. MioWeRRa knows his time is limited. He cannot allow this Protoss army to max, which it currently is maxed, 196. And MioWeRRa is at a measly 110. I guess he could just pump Marines right now, which that is what he's doing. He's just pumping as many Marines as he can, as he possibly can, but it's just not going to help. Marines are just absolutely worthless against this many Colossus. They will die so fast. They'll just melt like butter on a hot summer day. So here we go. MioWeRRa, if he can get some good EMPs off, that would be huge, but a lot of the ghosts getting taken out. I think he did land a great EMPs though. So here we go. MioWeRRa's got to hold this off. He has some Marauders, but a Side Storm landing down on the Marauders, and I think this could be lights out for Iz, who has 5 Colossus just railing these Marauders, sending them back to the Stone Age. There is one Banshee though. This Banshee could be the saving grace for MioWeRRa. If he can take out all of these Colossus with that singular Banshee, that would be huge. But I still don't think MioWeRRa can come out ahead. I think Iz is finally going to put the nail in the coffin. He's finally going to write the last page in this very long 41-minute book. He's going to close the chapter out and end this game with a victory for the Protoss forces from Ire. I don't see how MioWeRRa is going to hold this off. The Zealots and Colossus continuing to just shell away. Psystorms landing down on the reinforcing Marines and Marauders. And this should be GG. There's just like one last Marauder back here to harass the Protoss. But Iz is in a commanding position. 150 food to, what is the Terran player at? 36. So yeah, this is going to be GG. Iz is going to come out on top. MioWeRRa is going to fall. But what an epic battle on Metalopolis. 42 minutes. 42-minute game, ladies and gentlemen. but MioWeRRa is going to GG out of this, and what an epic battle indeed. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that broadcast, and of course, stay tuned to youtube.com/HDStarcraft for more games to come. Thanks a lot, guys. HD, signing out.